I think Hun Penny raising her hand, her or his. Do you want to say something, Penny?
ইন্টারনেট আছে?
হ্যাঁ। Hello. Hello, Nobhi. Are you hearing
Yes.
me? Okay. We can start.
Yes, please.
Hello. Good afternoon to all of you. This is Jakaria from CTA Bangladesh as a moderator in this sharing session. And welcome to all of you, our sharing session, Voice of Our Land, Volume 2. It gives me a warm welcome for everyone present in the interest of the India CBI 7 members, all organizers. I would like to thank all participants, all youth, and all speakers. Nobi, can you share uh, a slide? Uh,
Yes. Um, can you see my screen?
yeah.
This one or the next one?
And next one.
Next one. Okay.
Yeah. And we know this session, why this session is organized. We know we should understand that land is not an adult only issue. I think it's a big deal. Land is a resource based for basic human rights such as economic rights, social rights, cultural rights, the livelihood of the millions of people. And youth have different needs from other groups and should be any land decision making process. To answer that challenge, Youth and Land Asia create an initiative, uh, Voice of Our Land. This session is volume 2. It's an opportunity for young people, thoughts and perspective learning and one another to access idea, any possible collaboration to scale up this movement. A responsive land management, the good one, will lead millions of people to better living, while the bad one will cause our environmental damage. Arsenic poverty and violating human rights. Navya, next please. Yeah. This session, we should to follow the rules. First, we speak one at a time as we want to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to give their views. And second one is we respect the opinion of others. Everyone views valid, although we might not agree. And hard rule we should follow. There are no right to wrong answers. We just want to know what you think. And now I would like to request Yahoo to sharing and expectation of this session.
1 minute. 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 1 Yeah, thank you, Zakaria, and welcome to all the participants. It is very good to see you all today. My name is Wahyu Binatara Fernandez, and I'm working with RMI, the Indonesian Institute for Forest and Environment. RMI is currently leading the Youth and Land Asia initiatives in 5 countries, which are Indonesia, the Philippines, Cambodia, Bangladesh, and India. Youth and Land Asia itself is a platform supported by the International Land Coalition that aims to provide engagement space for youth in Asia region to land right discussions, as well as spaces for mutual sharing and learning from youth initiatives across Asia. And in parallel with that, these initiatives also work on connecting rural and urban youth to build solidarity. And as Zakaria had mentioned earlier, hopefully the solidarity will yield new opportunities and also collaboration between rural and urban youth in terms of land rights. So we want all of us working together in this platform wants this platform to be youth-led in the future, so that land rights discussions or discourses will further perpetuated by the most relevant stakeholders of land in the future. And so, in the spirit of sharing and learning and opening spaces for Asian youth on land rights, we are here today in the second Voice of Our Land webinar to learn and reflect on experiences from our three amazing speakers, Ms. Rupali, Brother Nasmul Hassan from Bangladesh, and Ms. Myline Macabuhay from the Philippines. All three will be introduced further by our dear moderator, Mr. Zakaria. So hopefully there will be some fruitful and engaging discussions today. So again, welcome to all participants, speakers, and thank you for the webinar team for preparing these wonderful webinars. And I'm giving the floor back to you, Zakaria. Thank you once again.
Thank you,
Zakaria?
Wahyu. Yep. Now, this way, I feel proud to introduce all of you who are the speaker of this session. We know we have three speakers in this sharing session. First, Myline Macabuhay, FA. Myline is the coordinator for the youth and land rights agenda of the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development. He has been working in the fields of environmental management, public health, sustainable agriculture, and youth empowerment since 2011. Myline holds MSc in Environment and Development degree from the University of Leeds and MSc in Environmental Science degree from the Antonio de Manila University. She completed her bachelor degree in education at the University of the Philippines. And our second speaker is Mr. Nazmul Hassan from Bangladesh. Nazmul currently uh, working to community awareness building at the village level. And third one is Rupali from Bangladesh. And Rupali honored experience in raising youth and land-related job awareness building. Firstly, I would like to request Myline to express about yourself, organization, and your current activities, and your hobby, and who are the people that have influenced you to this movement. Myline.
Yes, thank you
Please.
very much, Sakaria. So, good afternoon, everyone from Manila, Philippines. I am Myline Macabuhay. So, I am from the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development, or AFA. And I am handling projects focused on attracting youth to agriculture and promoting land rights within the organization. So, this mostly involves supporting our farmer organization members in their activities to reach this target. So in terms of hobby, I would say that if I have the time, I would usually binge watch TV shows in Netflix. And in terms of the influence, I would have to say that would be my first supervisor from the for Sustainable Development Association or organization, which I was a member of after graduating from my bachelor's degree. So that's it for me. Back to you, Zakaria.
Thank you, Mylene. Now I would like to request Mr. Nazmul Hassan. Nazmul, uh, first brief about yourself, your organization, and your current activities, and your hobby, and finally, who are the people that have influenced you to this movement? Nazmul, are you hearing me? Yes, please.
Yes, my name is Nazmul Hassan. In my family, I am Khalid by Naju, which means star. I complete my graduation on social science. My favorite hobby is traveling. I have traveled to almost most of the place in Bangladesh, already to countries India and Nepal. Uh, I have traveled. Mainly CDA is the key influencer for me to join this kind of movement, uh, and also my family encouraged me to such kind of activities. My organization, I am currently in charge of the Green Bangla People's Organization as a president. Green Bangla Janashangaton is a mainly a social organization. We mainly do social work and awareness in this village. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazmul. Now, I would like to request a final and third one, our speaker, Ms. Rupali. Rupali, can you brief about yourself, your organization, and your current activities, your hobby, and finally, who are the people that have influenced you to this movement? Rupali, please.
Thank you. My name is Rupali and it means color. I complete my graduation on social science. My favorite hobby is travel and doing social work for rural people. I have traveled to most parts of Bangladesh. I am currently involved in a social organization and called Udayan. Udayan Janashangathon is mainly a social organization. We mainly do social work and awareness building in the village. Mainly, CDA is the key influencer for me to join this kind of movement, and also my family encouraged me to such kind of activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupali. Now it's time to uh, present our speakers for speakers presentation. Uh, Novia, can you? Okay. Now it, we want to go uh, uh, our our speaker presentation, and I would like to request Myline again.
Okay, thank you very much, Zakaria, for the introduction.
Myline, please present your presentation.
Thank you. So can you see my screen? Can you already see my screen?
Yes, Myline.
Okay, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. Again, I am Myline Macabuhay from the Asian Farmers Association for Sustainable Rural Development. I am here to share with you our experience in strengthening the voices of young farmers through the establishment of young farmers committees to promote sustainable, resilient, and gender
Myline, are you
sensitive.
mute?
No, I'm not on mute. I'm already speaking. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can
Hello.
hear Myline.
Okay, so should I start again?
Go ahead, Myline.
Okay, so yes, so I'm here to share our experience in strengthening the voices of young farmers through the establishment of young farmers committees to promote sustainable, resilient, and gender-sensitive agri-forest-based livelihoods. So who are we? So AFA is an alliance of national farmers organizations in Asia composed of small-scale women and men family farmers, indigenous peoples, fishers, forest users, herders, and pastoralists. We were established in 2002 after a series of farmers exchange visits organized by AsiaDRA, an Asian regional NGO. In these exchange visits conducted over a span of 3 years, we saw the great need to come together to share, learn, and act on our common desire for a better quality of life for ourselves, our families, and our farming communities. Our mission is to build solidarity, raise our collective voice, and empower our members as key drivers and actors for sustainable rural development. So currently, we have 22 farmer organization members spanning 16 countries in Asia. All of the projects being undertaken by the organization fall under one or more of the following PESAT agenda. One is to promote secure tenurial rights over land and natural resources. The second is to promote sustainable family farming systems and practices. The third is to build and strengthen family farmers, cooperatives, and their enterprises. Fourth is to promote fair treatment and ensure equitable rights among women and men farmers. And fifth, and the most relevant to us right now, is the promotion of agriculture towards the young and build their interests and capacities. So what are the challenges in achieving the fifth agenda? Right now, the region is characterized by the following statement: growing population, but aging farmers. By 2050, as you can see in the left, the global population will rise to 9 billion people from 7 billion people now. And that means there would be a 70% increase in food production. This is most significant in the Asian region, which compose a large percentage of the world population. However, despite the need to address the food security needs of the coming generation, we are faced with the problem of the lack of human resources in the agriculture sector. The typical age of farmers across Southeast Asia is in the 50s and 60s. In the Philippines, for example, the average Filipino farmer is 57 years old, has attained a 4th grade education, and oversees only a 1.5 hectare plot of land. If the new generation refuses to go into farming, who will feed us? Where will we get our food in the future? So the pictures that you see right now are our goals of young farmers engaged in agriculture. But attracting youth to agriculture is a difficult challenge. Based on the learning exchange of young farmers that we conducted last year, the youth faces major problems such as lack of access to land, lack of access to capital and financing, lack of concrete policy framework and supportive government policies, and lack of access to education and technology. More so, we have a perception problem. There is a widespread perception that there is no money in agriculture, which is true because a large proportion of our agricultural sector are part of the society living under or within the poverty line. Farming is perceived as lowly and unprofitable. This is why AFA, with the support of the Forest and Farm Facility of the FAO, initiated the project called Young Farmers for Farms in Forests and Forest in Farms, which is being implemented with our member organizations from 9 countries that are listed in your screen. So what do? We strengthen the policy influencing capacity of young men and women farmers. We conducted leadership camps at the national level to increase their understanding of the connections between sustainable agriculture and livelihoods, the UN Decade on Family Farming, and the Sustainable Development Goals. Through the camp, the farmer organizations also established their own national young farmers committees, which will promote the voice of young farmers within these organizations. This will ensure that the farmers' organizations have a clear advocacy agenda that represent all their members' interests. The leadership camp also facilitated the development of action plans at the national level and at the individual farm level. So in the pictures that you see in the right are the action planning sessions from the different countries that are members of the project. And the screenshot of the document that you see in your screen is the AFA 5-year regional plan. Aside from the leadership camps, we also conducted regional learning exchanges. So this provides a platform for our young farmers to exchange or share their experiences and challenges as young farmers, as well as their initiatives and projects. In this way, they are able to find common synergies and find an entry point for cooperation. So through these activities, we were also able to elect the AFA Regional Young Farmers Committee. And we communicate with each other through our official Facebook group, the AFA Young Women and Men Farmers. So what are the results and impacts of our intervention? So multi-stakeholder policy processes are strengthened through better representation of young farmers. National Young Farmer Committee representatives have participated in national activities such as the Cambodia National Farmers Forum, Mongolia Consultation Meeting on Policy Issues, among others. At the regional level, young farmer representatives have also participated actively in the Farmers Forum in Rome, the AFA General Assembly, and the South Asia UNDFF consultation, among others. Aside from engagement and participation, we also saw how young farmers themselves have started their own initiatives. So some of them have started a community vegetable farm. Some have used social media to raise awareness on the role of youth to agriculture. Others have adopted sustainable farming practices. Well, there is also an organization that was able to successfully access funding from the British Council to train other young farmers on tea farming. This project of AFA started in 2019 and the initial results have been promising. If supported and sustained, the national and regional young farmer committees can serve as a platform for youth-related issues, such as advocating for land rights issues at the national and regional levels. But what we need is support and sustainability. So our young farmer committees, just like any other organization, needs technical and financial support from our government, donors, and other institutions up till the time where when the young farmers can fully stand on their own. So that's the end of my sharing. If you want to know more about this project or any other programs of AFA and youth and land rights, please do not hesitate to contact us through our website and social media channels seen in your screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Myline. Now, I would like to request Mr. Nazmul Hassan. Nazmul, please. Nazmul, please share your presentation. Nazmul.
Thank you very much, Zakaria. Now, agriculture is one of the most important sectors.
Sorry, okay, Nazmul,
Thank
please
you very
start.
much, Zakaria. Now, agriculture, one of the most important sector in the economy of Bangladesh. 80% of our total population and 60% of the labor force are engaged in agriculture. Talking about the development of village, the first thing that comes is agriculture development. The development of agriculture beside industries, trade and service sector. Bangladesh has a current population of more than 10 million. Bangladesh economy has undergone agricultural change during the last 2 decades. Data on sectoral shares of GDP show share of agriculture has declined from 38.3% in 1990 to 16.3%, whereas the non-agriculture share increased from 61.7% in 1990 to 83.7%. It is interesting to note that despite the agriculture change of GDP and decline of share of agriculture, the share of agriculture day laborers in total employment remain unchanged. This may be at last partly due to the lack of success of other sector in creating demand for unskilled workers. It also employs agriculture increase dependence on hard labor. Before entering into a discussion of whether the structural change of GDP has been accompanied by change in share of agricultural labor. A classificatory point is essential, although the target group of the present discussion is referred to as agriculture labor. The families of these workers out living through diversification of their earning source include casual labor in farm and non-farm work as well as various types of family beside employment, both farm and non-farm. In this regard, the term agriculture, the labor, casual labor have been used. Agricultural labor household has a different contention and it means households whose major source of income in agriculture was employment. Only rural youth community is now expressing interest in the agriculture sector day by day and we want to do something through youth mobilization. This is a positive aspect for the country and the economy of the country. We are always trying to using the educated youth of the country in agriculture sector in improve the quality of the country goods, ensure fair price for agriculture product and make the country economy stronger and more dynamic as consumer gets a food product. We do not we do not creation we youth correction of job and poverty will be reduced by setting up agriculture product processing and marketing center. Rural youth farmer are being corrected day by day. They are constantly using their talent to discover new goods. Economy activity is also contributing, but there are no community and construction them. That's why we doing and to organize and we are trying training to unit youth and we are participate human chains rally and meeting and summit memorandum main them is we are always making awareness build up the usual right of rural people to strengthen your solidarity our vision in future youth leader visually grassroots people movement by themselves also identify social issues, conflict, violence, greater poverty, and migration, motivating people on adapt modified method and strategic as well as being a new path of addresses social exclusion, ensure the human right and reduction the poverty ratio. But we are facing such kind of challenges. Most of the youth are not style unit well. Youth do not have any kind of access in land, don't have much financial support to develop themselves for self-employment, not enough experience on technical education. Most of youth are trapped on migration platform, negative social attitude for rural women youth which are not allowed to leave their home. Mm, Drug addiction, political negatives, in fact, lack of quality education, mostly rural youth play alternative roles in the family as an earning person. Friends, that's all from me. Thank all of you for being patient listener. Thank you. Have a good day and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazmul. Thank you for your presentation. Now it's time to Rupali. Now I would like to request Miss Rupali from Bangladesh. Rupali, please present your presentation.
Good afternoon.
Just a minute. Sorry. Key. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Please.
Good afternoon. I am currently involved in a social organization called Udayan. Udayan Janasanghathon is mainly a social organization. We mainly do social work and awareness building in the village. You know, in our country Bangladesh, most of the youth come out of college and universities with high degrees, but they are not always getting employment opportunities. You know, we all worry about coming to the city getting a government job for working in the private sector. But this is not an auspicious aspect for us because in our country it is not possible to provide jobs to these large numbers of young people with degrees in the government or private sector. But also opportunities are not being created. Our organization and I work on seasonal farming. I cultivate various crops and vegetables and sell them in the village market and to do various work of the earn money for our organization. We always keep in touch with the market in terms of fair for crop production and cultivation through agriculture. Work because agriculture is the most significant sector of Bangladesh economy. Nowadays, agriculture can play an important role in rural employment or service sector. At present, it is seen that due to lack of educated employment in the city as well as lack of employment as well as meritorious employment, the youth of the country are turning to agriculture. Therefore, it is possible to make the youth of the country skilled in agriculture through educate and modern training of youth. This will greatly reduce of the unemployment in the country. At present, we should focus on agriculture by youth of the country to root out unemployment. Some will work in agriculture Some will serve agriculture, some will build business around agriculture, and others will work in publicity. Youth have to be brought under the community funding for them and training, encouraging and also making them a significant contribution to the economy by making duty-free business. Interested in working in the agriculture sector. Now, if I talk about field crops, we are making good progress to produce and sell grass. If we talk about vegetables, there is a type of imported vegetable that is still imported and sold in our country. We are now cultivating them. If we talk about fruits, they are guavas, besides domestic fruits, and all kinds of imported fruits are now being cultivated in the country. In those cases, we do cultivate different types of fruits. Now, if the question is where will we get the land to cultivate? In that case, the solution is that we can also cultivate on land acquisition. My goal, awareness, build up rural youth to use local resource. Our vision, corruption-free developed society, country and nation. Drug and terror-free society. To eliminate unemployment, build child marriage-free areas, model village established. But now we are facing such kind of challenge. Most of the youth are not uneducated. Youth do not have any kind of access in land, do not have much financial supports to develop themselves for self-employment. They do not have any experience on technician education. Most of youth are trapped on migration platform, negative social attitude for rural women youth, which are not allowed to leave their home. Drug addictions, political negative impact, lack of quality education, mostly rural youths play alternative roles in the family as an earning person. But I hope in this regards we are trying to do better something about rural youth, and we do unitedly to solve the current situations. That's why we hold village-based para meetings on different kinds of rally, human change at different times on different issue for protect and influence the human rights of rural people, especially for women. And personally, I provide basic homeo and herbal medical care free of cost to rural people. Also help people of different age in rural areas to teach free writing. I also do village and land centric awareness work through social work. Friends, that's all from me. Thank all of you for being a patient listener. Thank you. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you, Rupali. Thank you for your sharing. Now, I would like to request and take attention of all participants in this CLE session. We really would like to hear from you and would like to include your voice in the sharing session. So, ask question and share your comments in the chat box. If anyone has question, I think the all speaker would be pleased to answer. Novia, can you please sharing the question and answer slide, please? Okay. If anyone has question. Hello.
I think someone already um, typed the question in the chat box.
Okay.
Yeah. From Martini. Martin.
Um, Imran, uh, uh, I would like to request Imran to help Nazmul in this regards.
Thank you, Zakaria bhai. The answer is this question. You have said that the youth play a supporting role in the comparison on their parents. How do you deal with this when you try to empower the youth? Basically, they are going to youth and community on the youth community and tell something about the how to do getting awareness about their awareness building and get some and given some training session and some knowledge about the environment benefits and so on. That's it.
Thank you, Imran.
Mr. Zakaria, maybe Martin has any comment?
And anyone? I think no one.
Mr. Zakaria?
I said something for Martini. Martini said that I was wondering whether that it is something difficult to do to break the cultural barrier. Yes, it's difficult for us to the youth of our countries. Those are the living in the village. They are not able to learn. They are comfortable in Bangla and they communicate in Bangla. The people when they communicate in Bangla and they are solve their problem, given their knowledge, they share their community. It's their main issue. They are not able to communicate commonly. They also express their feelings and sharing in the widely and that is too difficult for them. Thank you.
If any more, any more questions? Martin,
Jakaria bhai, I think there is no question here. So can you go beside?
Martin, you say something? Okay. Nabia, can we go next?
Yeah, maybe the last question before we go to the next one.
Okay.
Mr. Zakaria, I think Indra has question
Yeah.
to Nasmul and Rupali.
Imrad.
Thank you, Indra. Your question is, uh, according to our information, Bangladesh is one of the most populated country in the world, so it must be difficult to get a land of farm, especially for you. How you deal with this issue? So there is a problem to our country that we cannot go and told them we have a want to do something this land or your land. So can you give me borrow this land for some such kind of money? But when the youth are going with and youth are going to work something or in a land or cultivate something, then they are convinced the owner or if there is a land is a if there is a land is a government areas, and then they are going to get momentum and get rallies and whatever they have movement and pull and convince the government and getting the land, but it's too difficult actually. Thank you.
Indra, do you have any comment from Imrat's translation?
Opinion? No one.
Yeah. Mr. Zakaria,
I
actually, I
think
have. Hello.
we're, we
Hello.
are end of the sharing session.
Hello, Mr. Zakaria. Can
From
you hear?
here, can I go through?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Okay, I think uh, I think
Hi.
this session.
Um,
Yeah, over here.
can you hear my voice?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you hear
yeah.
my voice?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I have question to Myline. Actually,
Okay.
yeah. I because Myline has coordinated a lot of young farmers, not only in one but also at least in 9 countries. Um, I want to know more about the perspective of young farmers, especially the one that live in rural urban area. Well, actually, I'm not quite sure whether in your committee there is urban farmers, but if you have any inspiring things or you have any concerns related to urban farming, actually I want to know more about it based on your experience.
So
Maybe there is interesting things you can share to us.
actually, most of the young farmer members of AFA and its farmer organization members are from rural communities. So we're still in the process of conducting a profiling of all of the young farmer members. That's actually going to be the next step for all of the farmer organization members of the project, because they too do not have enough information or profile of their young farmer members. So yeah, so far I can't share yet regarding efforts on urban farming from our member organizations. Thank you.
Thank you, Myline. Yeah, I think I will pass to Mr. Zakaria. Mr. Zakaria, are you there? I think there is another question from Indra to Myline. Um, well, Myline, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, actually, there is another question to you from Indra. Is there any positive policy from the government in Philippines to encourage young farmer to cultivate the land? For example, like decrease the tax or capacity building integrated into formal education and others.
So actually, there is a new policy that is being pushed in the Congress, which is the Magna Carta for Young Farmers, which provides a lot of incentives for the youth to engage in agriculture. So, for example, part of the provisions include exempting young farmers from donors tax. So that they don't have to pay for donors tax to for the land that they will be cultivating and so on. And then of course that also includes support for capacity building, among others. But then again, it's still in the process of being ratified. It's still being reviewed, although there is a lot of support from different stakeholders as well as the National Economic Development Authority for the passage of that particular bill. Aside from policies, there are actually programs of the Department of Agriculture and other relevant departments to get more youth engaged in the sector. But then again, these are more at the program level. So there really needs to be like that one policy framework um, that will um, that will serve as the foundation of all of these initiatives. Thank you. Is it?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, there's a follow-up question of whether it is effective. I think it has, well, since the bill is still in being reviewed, we could, I mean, there's no way to measure it yet because it hasn't been passed. But the current climate now when it comes to youth in agriculture is that it's a very, very slow process. It is really hard to change the perception of agriculture as an unprofitable profession, because a lot of farmers, as we see now, do not really earn a lot from agriculture, and they're part of the people living in the poverty line. There are examples or business models where engaging in agriculture has become a profitable enterprise, and mostly they are initiated by younger farmers or younger agribusiness people, but they are few and far in between when you compare it to like the percentage of the Philippine population that is engaged in the agriculture sector. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Myline. Are you say something? Okay, no one. I think we are we are in the session.
Mr. Zakaria, I think there is another question for all speakers from
Okay.
Wahyu. From Wahyu, in the chat box. So Wahyu is asking about the urbanization to all of the speakers, either happening in rural area or where youth actually moving out of rural areas into the more urban setting is a challenge. How you all deal with that? So I repeat the question. Um, is urbanization either happening in rural areas or whether youth actually moving out of rural areas into more urban setting is a challenge? How you deal, how you all, the speakers, deal with that?
Hello, maybe I will go first. So at least for AFA, since it's a regional organization, and when we conduct regional exchanges, our young farmer representatives from different countries have actually raised that there is a lot of development in rural areas with some agricultural land being transformed into another type of development. And it's actually one of the things that we have been documenting in one of the other projects that I'm handling, which is the Land Matrix Initiative. It's a database about large-scale land acquisitions that is happening all over the globe, and AFA is responsible for documenting and recording the large-scale land acquisitions in the Asian region. So you can actually check our website. It's www.landmatrix.org if you want to see the large-scale land acquisitions in the region and in the specific countries. Also, we documented about youth migration to urban areas because, as I said, there is a lot of perception about agriculture being a lowly profession. So young people are really encouraged to finish their studies and seek other professions in order to, get out of the trap of poverty, as they say. So how do we deal with that as an organization? Of course, there are a lot of interventions. So for example, for the economic one, to remove the perception that agriculture is not a profitable job or profitable profession, we raise awareness about different sustainable farming practices that are not only sustainable but also economically viable, so as to attract the young farmers to um, to engage in agriculture, to return to the rural communities. And then, as part, of course, of the Young Farmers Committees, we hope to engage them so that they can participate in decision-making processes, because we feel that once the young farmers are engaged in the decision-making processes and the policy development processes, they would they would be able to provide suggestions or recommendations on how more youth can be attracted to agriculture, and this would be sort of concretized in the policies that will be developed. So that's it for me.
Okay, in my side, In Bangladesh, rural-urban migration is very common thing. Nowadays, rural people are migrated to the city for seeking a better life. The preference thinking this type of strategy has several outcomes include both sides of the coin. Bangladesh is already starting to face a consequences which is determined by the change of social economic activity. Now what are the way to consequences of its ongoing migration what the economy is main concern the new decade. Millions of rural people are migrate to divisional cities for grabbing income and generate opportunities. Interest in cities area are continuous expansion of informal sector growth cuts the gravity of migration. Ready-made garment sector is also attention as the economic hub, especially women meant to empower them to hold up as financial independence. Rural people of the coastal area always face the natural disaster. Another reason to leave the area. Thank you.
Thank you, Imrat and Myline. Are you say something? Are you any questions?
I think it is enough, maybe, Mr. Zakaria, for the Q&A.
Okay. I think we learn from more this sharing session. We learn from Myline about Philippine perspective and Nazmul and Rupali sharing their activities from Bangladesh. And I think they can share their initiative, challenges, and their activities and efforts. As, let us we appreciate the efforts of all the youth who are working hard day by day to change the current world. I think this from my side, friends. This is all from me. Thank you for participating. Thank you all organizer. Thank you all speaker and all of you for being here. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Can you all please turn on your camera
Yeah.
and let's have some last photo session.
Well, okay, I will help with the photo session. So everyone, if you are willing to join us to take the picture, please turn on your video. Alvina, Tila, Dali, Irma. Okay. Okay.
Who's taking the picture?
Okay. I think Imrat. Dila, do you want to turn on your camera? And well,
Can I turn on?
yeah, okay, okay. Well, I will take the picture. Wait. I will say 1, 2, 3, and you can say what? You can say land. Okay, land. 1, 2, 3. Land.
Land.
Okay, wait. The last one. Wait. Wait. Um, Wait. I need to copy this one first. Okay. Okay, the last one. I think Melin has just joined. Melin, we are in a photo session, so if you don't mind, please turn on your video. Yeah, your camera.
Yeah, sorry, I transferred to my phone because I lost internet connection.
Totally okay. Oh, okay. I can see now everyone's. The last one, we 1, 2, 3, and you can say land. 1, 2, 3, land. There is there is no
Land.
voice. I think everyone can turn on the voice. Yeah, unmute your voice. Okay. 1,
Ibrat.
2.
Myline.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Land.
And
Wait. 1, 2, 3. Still no voice.
Too many photos already.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you, Mr. Zakaria, all the participants, all the speakers, also Manda, the one behind our live streaming YouTube, and we will have the next fall tree, and I hope everyone can join. Um, I also read some comments on your registration, and Martin Martin also so excited to know more about land youth and land in Asia, right? Also Irma and others. Well, thank you everyone. See you on our
Thank you
next
all.
call.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good
Thank
Thank
you.
afternoon,
you.
good evening.
Bye-bye.
thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you, Melin, Nasmul, Kupali.